Hi and welcome to the video. I'm Dame and this is Dame Over, and today is a look at another new weapon to drop with the June update, and this time we're looking at the support class and the brand new Burton LMR Optical. I've made a video on the other variant available for this LMG, the Burton Trench, so if you want to find out all about that, including all the detailed stats, I've left a link to it in the description. And with that in mind, today's video will be focusing on the differences between the two variants. So if you find this video useful or entertaining, make sure you hit that like button before you go, and if you're new around here and want to keep up to date with the rest of the June update content, then make sure you've hit the subscribe button too. So let's jump straight into it, and a good place to start is to talk about what an optical variant does to affect the performance of an LMG. Well, for starters, there's the very obvious lens sight that's added to the top, making range fights easier, and a big improvement to spread when you aim down sight, both when standing still and when moving and shooting. So to get the most out of an optical LMG, you have to try and utilize its superior ADS qualities as often as you can. Now, there is the natural trade-off against the Trench variant where the hip fire isn't as strong and definitely doesn't have the same range of effectiveness, but the Burton Optical is still very good when firing from the hip thanks to that incredibly rapid fire rate. The Burton Optical actually shares the same stats as the Xiaosha low weight when hip firing, which is something I see players choosing to do very often and very effectively lately when they're using the Xiaosha. Where the Trench variant would struggle from mid-range thanks both to the hard-to-use iron sights and the stats not being particularly good, the Optical is far better. At mid-range, it's still pretty easy to hit your shots, and if the range is a little long, burst firing is a great option. In 2, 3 or even 4 round bursts, you'll be hitting your targets quite easily, and the fast fire rate really does help you to keep the time to kill competitive too. Now, it doesn't play the same as the Burton Trench. It is a fair bit more difficult to run into a room and spray down a couple of opponents, but it is still possible. The best way to make the most out of the Burton Optical is to change up your playstyle a little bit. Try to use cover effectively, catch your opponents in the open so you can spray them down, and generally thin out their ranks a bit before you push in. The little bit extra range you get with the Optical is a huge help in doing that, and when you do move into close quarters, you still have the option to revert back to hip fire. Now, I couldn't find anything that the Optical was particularly bad at, to be honest, and as a trade-off, it's not great at long range or in CQB, but in those mid-range battles, it proved really hard to beat against lots of different loadouts. It feels and plays very similarly to how the BAR Storm did before the TTK 2.0 patch. In the right hands, I think it could be very, very good. Maybe not overpowered, but to me, that could only really be a good thing. It's another solid option for those support players that like to run and gun, and certainly in bigger game types, you won't get caught out at range as often as you would with the Trench variant because of the extra aimed accuracy and the reduced spread. All round, I think it's a good weapon, and it's a lot of fun to use as well, and if there's another viable option that stops players from just laying down with a bipod, I'm absolutely all for it. But that's just what I think. What do you guys think of the Burton Optical? Is it better than the Trench? Is it much, much worse? Make sure you let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And a quick thank you to those of you guys that are supporting the channel through Patreon. It's because of you guys that I'm getting that little bit closer to being able to do this full time, and hopefully with a bit more support in the future that will actually be possible. So with that in mind, if you want to become a patron yourself, I've left a link in the description. There'll be one in the pinned comment and also a handy button on the end screen that will take you straight to the Patreon page, where if you'd like to, you can help support the channel from as little as $1 a month. So if you had a good time, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button too. Don't forget to hit the bell button, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos. Feel free to share this video with whoever and wherever you like. And until next time, that's Dame Over. Peace.